if he kicks this, let's have a look at it now. You'll see it as he sets his eyes on it.
It wasn't against Jarman. It was against Rashudo coming in from the front. I think he might have just even copped Dunstall on the knee, on the thigh there, giving him a bit of a corky.
Jason Dunstall has kicked 6. He is directly in front. It's a wobbly one. Oh, it hits the post. This game's got everything. 7 points the margin in favour of Hawthorn.
6 goals, 3, Jason Dunstall. 12-15 Hawthorn, 12 goals, 8 Adelaide. Jamison straight up the middle. We've got 13 minutes left. Jarman. Darren Jarman goes on quickly. All Hawthorn. Platten takes the mark. He's only 20 metres out. He goes for goal but misses. Well, he's had 2 unaccountable misses in the last quarter, John Platten. And Dermot Brereton looking edgy on his seat in the grandstand. The Hawks by 8 points.
Well, they really could have buried the Crows. They've had all the play. They're dominating everywhere.
They push Liptak up onto the ball. They need some drive through the middle, the Crows.
Deer. And a good knock-on by Wren. The ball in the centre of the ground. Jarman hooks it back. Danger again for Adelaide. Scott Lee. Hudson. And it's play on. Hudson on the left foot. Oh, he's blazed away and put it out in the full. You wouldn't believe it.
Well, you wouldn't believe it with Dunstall 35 metres clear. Unfortunately, players of the ilk of Hudson can only see goals when they get the ball within 30 metres.
McDermott, this is far from over. 12 and a quarter minutes left, and the margin is 8 points in favour of Hawthorn. A bad one, and Crawford marks near the centre of the ground. The score for Paul Hudson today is 2 goals, 2 behinds, and 3 out of bounds on the full. Platten at centre wing. He's come to life after half-time. Good punch away by Tasker. Lee to Andrew Jarman. The kick by Jarman for Smart. Moving well, Nigel Smart. Modra leads towards the pocket. Kick drops short. The hand pass floats back. Knocked away from Tregenza by Langford, who was happy to leave Modra. Here's Platten at half-back. This is still Chris Langford, a mile up the ground from Modra. Allen gets a bad bounce. Lee does well for Adelaide. Jarman comes in. Bickley. Oh, Liptak, dangerous. Liptak goes as long as he can. McGuinness is there. It bounces for a goal. The margin back to 2 points.
Well, Matthew Liptak, you have certainly stamped your authority on this game, particularly with that magnificent goal in the last quarter when the Crows needed it. This is a bit of fumbling there by a few Hawks players, in particular Ben Allen. Once again, a lot of players slipping. It's not an ice rink out there. They're just using the right footwear. We'll have a look at this lucky bounce.
The Crows fight back. 2 points the margin. Wren wins it. Tony McGuinness receives from Tregenza. In towards half forward. Langford the big fist away. Still the Crows. Wigney. Now Nigel Smart. He's kicked it. Yes. Crows in front. Well, would you have believed this? 88-92. And Adelaide lead by 4 points.
Well, the Hawks have only got themselves to blame for their precarious position now, because they've had 5 or 6 relatively easy shots at goal. They are the final specialists. And the Crows are showing them how to kick goals under pressure at the other end of the ground. There's young Ben Hart. Boy, would he like to be out there. Perhaps he'll get his taste next week.
Adelaide by 4 points. Just under 11 minutes to go. We can't get a draw. We'll play extra time to decide a winner here if the scores are level at full time. The season for both clubs on the line here in the last 10 minutes. Hoth balls for the loser, second semi for the winner. Hawthorn led for a good couple of minutes at the start of the game. Adelaide led most of the day. Hawthorn regained the lead and the Crows have it back. Wiedemann rides a high knock. He goes back to Andrew Jarman to full forward. Modra gets underneath it. Picked off the ground by Smart. He dribbles for another one, but it just gets offline. Through for a behind, and the margin's 5 points in favour of the Crows.
Mark Mickett looking on. We're under the 10-minute mark to go. Hawthorn have dominated since half-time. They have really missed a lot of easy shots. But the Crows fighting it right out. Oh, step straight to Jarman. Oh, look at this, out wide the mark. Play on, calls the umpire. Wigney hooks it back at goal. It floats, and he's missed. 6 points the margin.
The Hawks have got to get something going from this kick out. Crows are using the zone defence quite well. Rebounding Chris Langford's kicks quite easily.
In the centre square. And that's an excellent mark taken by Gowers. 94-88. Adelaide leading. In their first ever final in the AFL. The kick by Gowers. Nixon had his back to the ball. But they force a ball up just forward of centre wing for Hawthorn. McDermott saying, "You are kidding, umpire." Umpires in charge, Darren Goldspink, David Howlett. And just for the record, free kicks at 23-17 in favour of Hawthorn. Deere wins the tap to Condon. Fires out the hand pass to Nixon. Penetrating kick. Dunstall had missed him. He got a fingernail to it though. Happy to rush it behind is Rasciuto, the youngster. And that makes the margin 5 points. So in a tight game, that is something.
Paul Deere looks on. The chip pass. Liptak has been a terrific player. Matthew Liptak, he's playing on. He brings it to the half-back line. Tony Hall and Tasker. Hall, desperation. Goes back and thumps it over the line.
Just not sure of the value of having Gary Ayres down in that forward pocket for Hawthorn. He seems to be crowding up Jason Dunstall, and his man Tasker is also coming across with Jamison to push the goal-kicking champ out.
Half forward for Hawthorn as they run at it, and it's forced over the line again. 5 points the margin, Adelaide leads. Stephen Kernahan and Greg Williams, they look on. They play the winners next week. Wren gets it to ground to Liptak. Oh, that was great play to Anderson. And Anderson sprints clear. He brings it in towards the pocket. Modra dives and marks a great mark.
Oh, that's a special. A real hamstring stretcher.
Tony Modra will kick from 50. And if he kicks it, there'll be 11 points in front. He kicks it across the face. The Hawks fly and try and force it through. They do. So it's 6 points the margin. 7.5 minutes of play left in this game.
Nervous faces from players who didn't get a game and supporters in the crowd and potential opponents next week. And I can just imagine Adelaide and the whole state of South Australia watching on television. They'd be biting the fingernails to the elbow. Adelaide leading by one straight kick. Langford kicks in. Wren marks on his chest.
Once again, the Hawthorn kick out being repelled too easily.
Goes for the short pass. Too short of McGuinness. Good hand pass. Off to Liptak. Liptak snaps and misses.
Boy.
Could be vital. 7 points the margin.
Would that have topped off a magnificent game?
Stephen Rowe looks on. He'd love to be out there. Look at the Crows supporters. Chris Langford to half-back Wren and the man in front, Deere. So Greg Deere at half-back. He can handball it on here. Condon. They should be looking for the long kick. He chips it wide to Cooper. Cooper a hurried kick. Hudson waiting at the back.